Hi, happy Webtoon Wednesday. I'm going to be talking about the webtoon called Obey Me. Now, some possible triggers for people is rape, torture, sexual assault, attempts of suicide, attempts of murder. This is our main male character, Cha Jinyu, which I'm probably saying wrong, and I apologize. Now, he is a hermit right now. He's graduated from high school, but he had an accident his senior year. What happened was one of his friends committed suicide. So Jinyu believes that the guy who was bullying him posted all these inappropriate pictures of his friend throughout the school, and that's why his friend committed suicide. So after his friend committed suicide, Jinyu goes to the roof where his friend jumped from the school. And he wasn't trying to commit suicide. What he was doing is he just kind of wanted to be connected to the same place that his friend was and to see what his friend had seen. Now, a security guard comes and spooks him, and he accidentally falls off the roof. Not intentional. He wasn't trying to kill himself. But when this happens, he gets some brain damage and he loses some of his memory. So really, there's a lot of stuff that he doesn't remember, and a lot of what he can remember is his friend who committed suicide, and that he remembers the guy who bullied him. Now Jinyu is a hermit, and he lives at his dad's house because he's basically traumatized and afraid to go out to the world. So all he does is stay in his room and hide all the time. One day though, Jinyu goes to a convenience store down the road to get some ramen because he's hungry. When he is there, he is chloroformed and passes out, and when he wakes up, he's tied up in a room. So this is the guy that had kidnapped Jinyu. He doesn't recognize him. Jinyu doesn't recognize him, but this guy knows him and has been stalking him for, I think, like at least 2 years at this point. At least 2 years. Now, this guy is crazy. Jinyu, when he does meet this guy, it takes like a little bit, and then he kind of finally gets like a little flashback. Now remember, he's lost some of his memory. So he gets this little flashback, and he does remember this guy from high school, but he only remembers him as like the quiet, weird kid that hid in the back of the class and didn't talk to anybody. This guy is obviously obsessed with Jinyu, and he wants to be with Jinyu sexually, but he has like pictures of naked women up on the wall, and it's not stimulating Jinyu. So what the crazy kidnapper decides to do is to bring in Sungtae. Again, probably saying it wrong. Sungtae is the bully from high school. And what the kidnapper does is he rapes Sungtae in front of Jinyu, and Jinyu gets a physical response from this interaction, from watching somebody else get raped. Now, he very openly admits that he does not like Sungtae, that Sungtae was really mean to him. You get to see some of the interactions that they had and how physically violent Sungtae was to Jinyu. So a part of Jinyu does not care what happens to Sungtae, because Sungtae was just like a piece of crap to him. Like, so he doesn't feel bad that this is happening to his bully. What he feels is like, well, what goes around comes around. This is karma, and this is what you get. So Jinyu and Sungtae are not the only prisoners in this facility. Sung Haeun is also being held captive here. What she says is that the guy who kidnapped them all kidnapped her 2 weeks ago, and she's been there ever since, living in this room. Luckily, there's a toilet in there, and there's some supplies. Haeun and Jinyu share this cell together, somewhat temporarily, because the captor will come in and take Jinyu and go assault him, basically. And to Jinyu, Heian is like this little pillar of light to make everything better, like hope. He wants to be able to protect her in a way, because she got kidnapped because she was the test that the kidnapper did to make sure, you know, he could kidnap Jinyu. So he does feel bad and responsible, and like she's there because of him. Whether that's not necessarily true or not, that's just how he feels. I wanted to add in that Heian has secrets of her own that she doesn't tell Jinyu right away, but eventually it comes out, and I think it's really wonderful how understanding and how Jinyu embraces her. But I won't tell you what it is because I don't want to ruin the surprise. There is a lot of psychological stuff coming into play in this webtoon. I think it is very well done. I know for some reason I like saw reviews where people were saying that Obey Me was like the love child of Killing, Stalking, and Warehouse. I would highly disagree. I would say that the first 10 chapters or so of Obey Me are actually really funny. And I'm not sure if that's just because I have a weird sense of humor, but the author makes really hard, bad situations really lighthearted and funny. Like, I was actually laughing out loud and giggling during some of these situations because of the main character's reactions to what was going on. He just had like a really funny response. Jinyu, to me, is making healthy decisions when it comes to the situation. He's making smart decisions, and yet he's still making healthy decisions for the future. I don't really want to give too much away because I know some people are like, this wasn't a spoiler-free review, blah, whatever. This webtoon is complete, so you can, I read it within a day. I thought it was very good. I read it super fast. I couldn't put it down. And I do like the progression of, like I said, the beginning, like the first 10 chapters were really funny, and then as it progresses, it gets more and more serious. So I actually liked how the author did that. It goes really deep. The plot does. And there is some plot twist that, even though they seem, they don't seem unrealistic. They seem highly unlikely that it would happen, but not unrealistic that it would happen. I really like this webtoon. I like the artwork. I like the characters. I like the suspense. I like the psychological part. There's not necessarily a lot of character growth because it all actually happens within like a week or two, but I think you just get to see the strength that the character already had, and I love how the further in you go, the more you know, and it's just, it's really good. If you have any recommendations, please leave them in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Bye, everyone.